Peace, y'all. It's your girl, Aisha RaQuel, and I wanted to get on here and share this wisdom that has come through to me. I'm currently at work at my job, and I'm reading this book, "Conquer Your Negative Thoughts" by Daniel Amen, and it was given to me by one of my counselors who I speak to. Who I've been speaking to for a couple years. She is a super dope individual. And, I've been tapping into this book and really, seeing what it's talking about. Conquer your negative thoughts. Like, when I first saw this book, and the subtitle says, The Secret of Emotional Freedom and Happiness. Damn. The Secret to Emotional Freedom and Happiness. Damn. I never even paid attention to the subtitle. So I just wanted to come on here and share the information, the wisdom, the gems that have come through to me just now. I just opened the book and read a few pages. I don't read it every day, but it's been a gem for sure since I began reading it. But I don't want to get distracted. I want to stay focused. So, The Secret to Emotional Freedom and Happiness. When I first started this book, I was interested in it and interested in why she gave it to me. But not only that, my ego was like, nigga, it's not even fucking possible to conquer your negative thoughts. Like, what you mean, conquer them? But I understand. I'm like halfway through. That is not half. But I'm getting, I'm digging in. I'm almost halfway through. And I wanted to get on here and just share the information that came through just now. I put a peace sign beside this specific part. If you have the book or if you want to get the book, it is on page 58. And it says, you have a choice in where you direct your attention, even in times of loss. This simple strategy can make a powerfully positive difference in your life. And I literally just opened the book and read that line. I probably haven't read the book in like a week, but simply reading that line and tuning in, like, gave me so much wisdom in just a few seconds. And I had to speak it out loud to myself, like, for real. So I decided to come on here and share it, right? So, as a kid, if you're in a very unsafe, unhealthy situation or unpleasant situation or environment, you really don't have much of a choice as to moving into a safer environment or a more peaceful environment, right? You can't drive, you don't have money. So you're really in this space of being stuck in a way, and desiring for somebody to come help you, come save you, get you out of this shit, right? And as we grow into adults, that changes. That specific thing changes because, you grow up, you get your own stuff, you know how to create resources for yourself. And outside of resources, your mind develops, right? Your mind develops, you mature. So with that being said, I'm going to read the statement again. You have a choice in where you direct your attention, even in times of loss. This simple strategy can make a powerfully positive difference in your life. Even in times of loss, you have a choice in where you direct your attention. Now, as an adult, your adult self, like, sit with that. Sit with this blessing that you now have as an adult. So, experiencing a situation, whether it's something with your car, something financially, something in a relationship that is unpleasant, unsafe, it's just something that you really don't want to experience. You have a choice as to where your energy gets directed. You have a choice. If something unfortunate happens to you, you have a choice. The power of choice. As a kid, that power is possibly taken away because of your lack of resources, your lack of awareness that you have a choice of how to feel. and that power gets taken away, or you give it away, right? But as an adult, it's up to you to remember that you have that power. And like, you can choose to be happy. You can choose to have faith. You can choose to trust and move into a different state, a different energy, a different mind frame, right? And it's just so much that can be prevented from making the choice to just like trust and choose peace and choose to not worry. Choose to remember that you don't have to figure it all out on your own. Choose to see the bigger picture. Choose to focus on what's good right now, rather than what's bad, And a lot of people don't be ready to hear that they have a choice on how to feel, because they're likely stuck in that child brain of thinking that they don't have a choice, that they are, what is the phrase, you are a victim to your circumstances. You're like, what's the phrase? I don't really know the phrase, but you're at the hand of your circumstances. Like, everything that happens to you in your life, you're at the hand of it, which means that somebody could cut you off in traffic and now you having a badass day because it happened. Like, no, they cut you off in traffic, have your little 1-2, do what you got to do, allow your emotions to flow through. That's a big point that I want to make as well, because I'm not saying ignoring your emotions, that you shouldn't feel your emotions, but allow your emotions to flow through, acknowledge them and process them, right? And acknowledge your emotions, process them, know that they aren't permanent, right? Really tune into them, let them flow through. Not saying ignore your emotions and just, everything's fine. It's not what we're doing. We're allowing our emotions to flow through. We're allowing ourselves to process, but we're pulling ourselves away from the intensity of our emotions in the midst of these unpleasant situations. We breathe and we remember. We return to center. And remember that you have the power, right? You have the power of how the rest of your day goes, of how you feel right now, and that is a blessing, bro. Like, coming from me, coming from someone who at some point felt like life was unfair, why my life gotta be like, like, I don't deserve to be happy because that's just the way life is. Comes from somebody that was once in that mind frame and literally doing a full 180 and moving into this practice, the practice of choice. Man, it's life-changing. It is life-changing. Like, really standing in your power and knowing that no matter what happens in life, no matter where you go in the world and what happens in life, you have the power to choose how you feel and how you respond. It's your responsibility. Your responsibility, And that, to me, is so freeing. It's so freeing. That is the secret to emotional happiness and freedom. Secret to emotional freedom and happiness. Like, for real. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody outside of you. Your mama, your daddy, your brother, sister, cousin, auntie, uncle, co-workers, supervisor, manager. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody. The government, nobody. This is on you. And you should be happy that it's on you, because you love yourself the most, right? You're going to protect yourself the most, right? So why wouldn't you want the responsibility to allow yourself to feel how you feel and do what you do, So that really has helped me in the past few weeks, honestly, to really own my power. Like, it clicked in a different way since I've been really diving into this book. it's clicked in a different way. So now I understand how you can conquer your negative thoughts. It doesn't mean not have negative thoughts at all. It just means not being, what's the word? Not being at will, at hand, a victim to those negative thoughts. You know, not being swayed, not being sucked into those negative mindsets every time something bad happens. And bro, I'm telling you, take it from me. Take it from me. It's a quest, for real. But once you understand it and once it clicks, like, it's so freeing. So I just wanted to share that. And yeah, I'm about to keep reading my book. But much love, y'all. Sending y'all love. And I will see y'all soon. Peace.